Coming up tonight, the Prime Minister to begin his tour of the Lomaiviti Group tomorrow. Government to save $41 million from functional review, and the price of sugar drops much to consumers' delight. Nisa Mbulevinaka, I'm Tale Tora. The Prime Minister, Commodore Verenge Bainimarama, leaves for the Lomaiviti Group tonight, where he will visit a number of islands in the group. The Prime Minister will visit Nairai, Koro, Wakaya and Makungai. This is the Prime Minister's second visit to the Lomaiviti Group after he opened the biofuel plant in Koro last year.
The Prime Minister's visit to Lomaiviti is solely for him to see all developments earmarked for Lomaiviti, the progress that has been made, and also to meet and hear from the islanders. The delegation will start with the inspection of the proposed Tobulelai jetty in Nairai on tomorrow morning. The Prime Minister will then travel to Koro, where he will inspect some projects and also meet with the community. A likely project to be visited includes the biofuel plant in Koro, a project prioritized by government as an alternative source of energy for people living in the islands. The Prime Minister will also meet with government officials at Nassau before leaving for Wakaya and Makongai.
Government stands to save close to $41 million when it implements the findings and recommendations of the first phase of the functional review of government ministries and departments. The Prime Minister, Commodore Verenge Bainimarama, who is also the Minister for the Public Service Commission, announced that major changes in the civil service will take place in the coming months as it continues to pursue reforms and improve efficiencies in service delivery.
The review identifies 5 large ministries, namely the Health, Education and Works, Transport and Public Utilities Ministry and the Departments of Agriculture and Fisheries and Forest, and the scope of their work and function in as far as service deliveries are concerned. The Prime Minister said these were the targets of the first phase of the review because they were all frontline service provider ministries and accounted for 68% of staff in the civil service and 46% of operating expenditure in government's national budget. He said major gains should be achieved by refocusing government's reforms efforts in these 5 larger ministries in the first instance. Commodore Bainimarama said there will be major changes in the organization structure, core functional responsibilities, and the manner in which they interfere with the public in terms of service delivery. He added that government would focus its role on the formation and implementation of policies ensuring the existence of a conducive regulatory framework, monitoring and compliance, and promoting and safeguarding the interests of ordinary members of the public. This means work undertaken by these ministries will be reorganized, outsourced or corporatized.
Sugar mills around the country are performing well and will allow the Fiji Sugar Corporation to meet its 2011 quota. This was confirmed by the Director of Sugar, Viliame Ngudake. Mr. Ngudake said the smooth running of the mills will motivate the farmers to plant and harvest more cane.
For the last 3 seasons, the 2 major players are the millers, which is FSC, and then the growers, we know the farmers. And the growers have always advised us that, well, we have produced the cane, but the millers have not been able to extract the sugar from the cane because of the poor performance of the mills, despite the upgrade program that was done by the Sugar Technical Mission of India. You know, that one, I think we poured about 116 million investment to that, but the millers have not performed. But now I think this season, this is the first time that what we've seen so far is that the mills have really performed, and we are quite confident that that will continue until the end of the crushing season.
He said that the current reforms, which include mill upgrades, will ensure that the mills run smoothly, a problem all too familiar with the sugar industry in Fiji. Since the start of the crushing season, the mills have not reported a breakdown.
Well, I believe the key to this is the mill performance. I mean, the growers from our consultations have said that once the mills are fixed, we would be able to plant more cane. And I think there is some merit in the argument, in saying that there's no point in planting more cane. You can't even convert the cane that we produce into sugar. I think it makes sense. But I think it's fair to say that once the mills are fixed, that in itself will motivate the growers to plant more cane to supply to the mills.
The Ministry of Lands and Mineral Resources is currently reviewing the Mining Act of 1978. This review comes at a time when investors are lining up for projects within our mining sector. According to the Acting Permanent Secretary for Lands, Penny Mbalei-Nambuli, there is a Mineral Exploration and Exploitation Bill which will identify the outstanding areas in the sector.
The two outstanding areas are the compensation component, which is going to be paid to resource owners, and the loyalty component, which sorts out what government gets as part of revenue for the use of natural resources.
So this ministry has already convened a committee, and that committee is now identifying the various options on how best to conclude or to attend to the outstanding issues. The target is by the end of this year. By December 2011, we should have the two outstanding issues reviewed with a view towards completing the review of the Mining Act itself.
After the break, Tamil movie to be shot in Fiji and the police to beef up security during the Hibiscus Festival.